Thank you, everybody. I don't know. It's technology again. It's 2 days in a row. Technology again. All right. So forget everything you missed in the first 80 seconds. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner of Houston Roundball Review. This show is sponsored by the Saxenian family. Got to get that in. Thank you for his support. He's the one and only supporter. Trying to get more. I need to clone him and have like 10 of him to support the Houston Roundball Review and the Takeover, especially now that I've been approved to cover and attend the Big 12 men's and women's media days in Kansas City in a few weeks. And I've had folks bail on me. So that sucks. But you missed it because I was muted. I had hoped to bring you the Big 12 men's basketball conference schedule almost live here. But no, it's going to be announced at 1 o'clock today. So once this show ends, the Big 12 will release the men's basketball conference schedule. It has, however, released the women's conference schedule. And CA37 and Rex 32, tell your friends that I have my mic on again. It's working and I'm not muted. I'm going to put this up. This is part of the announcement from the Big 12 about the women's conference schedule. Let me know what you see. Check this out. What do you see on there? Good afternoon to you, Ben. Thank you for joining me with my mic on so you can hear me. Those first 80 seconds, 90 seconds of my voice being muted. But what do you see? What do you notice on there, on that graphic, on that picture, on that slide, on that image? What do you see? Let me know. Let me know what you see. Yes, Rex. Yes. In that upper right corner, presented by Allstate. That's interesting, I think. I don't know if it was on there last year as far as the scheduled announcement, but I noticed it this year. That graphic obviously is new because it has all these 16 new current member schools, Arizona and Arizona State, and Colorado and Utah. But yes, it is presented by Allstate. And yes, I like that word. That's what I'm looking for. If Allstate, y'all know some folks, want to talk to me about advertising on this show and all my shows and my website, by all means, I am eager to work with you and help and have you help me because yeah. So most definitely, advertise at thehrr.com because again, let me say it again. I've already been approved. The Roundball Review has been approved to cover the men's and women's basketball media days in Kansas City. However, folks who are going to partner with me in terms of the trip have ghosted me. So my budget has been blown to hell. So I'm not certain that I'll be able to make the trip without new funds. But that's for another show, stream, video, YouTube clip, Instagram reel, etc. Miss Polk, how are you? Miss Wanda, you join me with my mic on, as opposed to CA and Rex who joined me and my mic was off. And bless you for telling me because I'd have been done a whole show without my mic on. But Miss Wanda, notice that the Big 12 women's hoop schedule is out. It says presented by Allstate in that upper right corner. Ironically, in the press release, there's no mention of Allstate. Here it is, the conference schedule for the 24-25 Big 12 women's basketball season has been announced. This season marks for the first for the conference with 16 members, as Arizona State, and Utah will make their Big 12 debuts while Colorado rejoins the league. Teams will play 3 opponents home and away, while facing 6 teams only at home and 6 opponents only on the road for a total of 18 conference games. This is different than the men. Excuse me. The men are going to play 20 conference games. Women, just 18. Opponents were selected based on a combination of geography, historical results, and a poll of the coaches to best balance the schedule in terms of travel and competitiveness. League play begins Saturday, December 21st, early, with 6 games and concludes Sunday, March 2nd. The regular season will be followed by the 2025 Big 12 Women's Basketball Championship, which will take place in Kansas City's T-Mobile Center for the second consecutive season. The current league members combined to go 8-0 in their first game of the 2024, should say, I don't know why they don't do this. It's your sport. Women's NCAA tournament, the NCAA Women's Tournament, while 15 of the 16 teams finished in the top 2023-24 season in the top 101 of the net rankings. I'm not sure where the Coogs finished. They were 101 or 103, whatever. They were toward the bottom of that, unfortunately. 4 Big 12 teams are ranked in the top 16 of ESPN's women's basketball way too early, top 25, tied for the most of any league. Now, this is a surprise. So that's Baylor, Iowa State. Let's see, who else would it be? But for sure, Baylor and Iowa State are like top 10, Kansas State, and maybe West Virginia, maybe. But I know Baylor, Iowa State, K-State are for sure. All dates are subject to change, and complete TV designations will be released at a later date. Miss Wanda, you'll be proud of me. I'm maintaining my professionalism by doing this. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. Here is the conference schedule for the Houston Cougars women's basketball team. It ain't easy, but road opener, conference opener in Lubbock at Texas Tech on December 22nd. Then their first Big 12 home game versus K-State on New Year's night, Wednesday. And then Arizona State, January 4th, at BYU, January 8th, at Utah, that should be 11th, January 11th. Home versus Oklahoma State on January 14th, at Baylor on a Friday. Why is that on a Friday? I'm guessing it's part of Big 12 women's hoops on TV, like Fox FS2. I'm hoping that's correct. Texas Tech, January 22nd at home. Home versus Kansas on the 25th. At Cincinnati on January 29th. At UCF, February 1st. Then home versus Baylor on Wednesday, February 5th. Home versus West Virginia on February 8th. At Colorado, February 15th. At Iowa State, February 19th. Home versus Arizona and head coach Adia Barnes, former Houston Comet, Adia Barnes. At TCU on February 26th. And then home versus UCF to wrap up the Big 12 conference play on Sunday, March 2nd. And as you see there, as noted, the 2025 Big 12 women's basketball tournament takes place March 5th through 10th at T-Mobile Center. So plan ahead, get your tickets ready and all that. Go support your Big 12 school, your alma mater, if you just want to see some good basketball. Be in KC March 5th through the 10th. And of course, the Big 12 men's tournament starts, I think, the next day. So that would be March 11th through that Saturday. So if you have the time and the funds, you can spend, 10 days in KC to watch some Big 12 hoops. Have at it. God bless. Go for it and do it. Make that happen. And as a reminder, in 48 minutes, 1 o'clock Central Time, the Big 12 will announce the men's basketball conference schedule, the 20-game men's basketball conference schedule for its 16 schools. And I am assuming, we shall see, but I'm assuming this image will also, the men's schedule when it comes out, will also feature presented by Allstate, the good hands folks. So seems like hints here and there. It's not official yet, The conference has not been renamed the Allstate Conference or the Allstate 12 or whatever, but little crumbs, little breadcrumbs, little trails being left there for us. So time will tell. We'll see soon enough. But next, I'm going to play this clip from head coach Kelvin Sampson. It's in vertical format because I'm also putting it on TikTok and Instagram Reel and other Reel formats where I get more views than others. Yeah, I noticed that too, Rex. Most of the schools joining that conference are state schools. Yeah. I want to talk about that too. Some strange, there will be lawyers involved in that. That's some stuff I don't understand. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney, but some stuff just doesn't make sense to me. Okay. If you are a loyal supporter, follower of the Houston Roundball Review, of this show, of the Takeover, you know for a while I was giving updates regarding the Players Era Festival, the Coogs' involvement in it, whether Coogs going to play Alabama on that first night, all of that. Sportico's Daniel Libet wrote an excellent article that was published earlier this week. Quotes from Coach Sampson regarding his involvement, regarding his concerns, about some things that were initially proposed regarding this inaugural Players Era Festival. Coach Sampson had a lot of say in it, making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. So on the first day of practice, official practice, fall practice, whatever, it was September 25th. So yesterday, Wednesday. Hopefully I'll be at, a whole lot of practices I'll have content, post, all that kind of stuff. But my sole objective at the first practice was to ask Coach Sampson about the Players Era Festival. So that's what I did. As he does, he answered my question, and then he had a point to make. So listen to everything. And of course, this is also available on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. And you know me, I've been doing this 30 years. So there is a method to my madness when I ask a question. Some of the newbies, some new colleagues who haven't been around Coach Sampson in a long time, you just don't know, you don't have that experience yet. I've covered Coach all of 11 years now. He's been at Houston. And I've covered hoops going on 30 plus years now. So there is a method to my madness when I ask a question. Be clear on that. Here we go. Kelvin Sampson. Coach, just what are your thoughts on the Players Era Festival in Vegas, the importance of it, the newness of it?
What's my
thoughts on the Players Era Festival?
Well, we're doing it because we're getting $1 million. What else thought would I have?
You had a kind of a big part in that taking place, or the layout and the logistics and everything about it?
I had a big part in making a decision to do it. And I made sure there was something that I thought the school could do. We don't operate independent of our legal counsel when it comes to contracts. Now, when you sign a contract, it's not between me and that guy. It's between the University of Houston. So I looked at a lot of their contracts, and I knew that the NCAA was not going to allow us to do some of those things. But, give Seth and those guys a lot of credit. They did a lot of work to modify, adapt, adjust to all the schools. But, we put a lot of time and effort there, but give $1 million. That, in this day and age, I get tired of having to go ask our donors for stuff, knocking on their doors. That's not fair to them. It's like recruiting. I have to have a private plane. Not because of convenience, it's because of necessity. It's not like every kid we're recruiting within 20 miles of this campus. These kids are in different states. And if I only got 2 or 3 days I can be out, if I can get to 3 kids in one day, well, I've been on this administration about we got to quit asking the donors for their net jet hours. That's their hours. Get our own hours. Most of the schools at Big 12 have their own planes. I remember I had a plane at a pilot in Oklahoma. Matter of fact, Howard Schnellenberger and I shared that plane I don't know how many times because we had to go to the same event. But access to private planes is critical in recruiting. Willie and his staff go out. They're going to want Willie at 4 or 5 different places. Now, they're all within a 2-hour, 3-hour, or even Dallas. You drive, no problem. But I can't drive to Dallas and see a kid at 8 o'clock in the morning, drive back to Houston, see a kid at 3 o'clock, then go back to San Antonio and see a kid at 8. I don't have time for that. So we're having to learn how to be a Big 12 school. This is not my second year in the Big 12. This is my 14th year in the Big 12. We're still not a Big 12 school yet. We're a long way away from being a Big 12 school. I'm talking everybody, not just the players. If we got Big 12 players, obviously, that's about it.
All that's true. It's on point. It says Coach Sampson's 14th year in the Big 12. I covered the Big 12 before the Coogs joined the Big 12. I still have contacts with the Big 12. That's why I put in, the groundwork to still get approved for Big 12, even when the Coogs weren't in the Big 12. So I've seen Big 12 conferences and Big 12 media communication departments, how they operate. As Coach Sampson said, got a long way to go. We're in the Big 12, but we're not yet a Big 12 school. Some alums and some folks, downplay what he said. And he said it, so I put it out there. I've said similar things. Oh, you know what you're talking about? Okay. Yeah, all right. I've experienced this. I've gone on the road out of pocket. Everything Houston Roundball Review has done, 95% of it is out of my pocket. Not advertised, out of my pocket. Can't do that much longer out of my pocket without help. But yeah, I've been to Waco and I've been to all these other cities and driven around. Heck, there was one year I drove. Listen to this. I drove to Oklahoma City for Media Day and back in the same day to cover Media Day in the same day because I could not afford to stay at a hotel. I drove up there 7 hours, attended, talked to the coaches, and drove back. So my dedication is unquestioned. But these skills, he puts it out there. Coach Sampson has a lot more patience with UH than I would. He and his family make up for a lot of shortcomings on Cullen. True. CA37, we didn't see it. We don't see practice. Practice. Okay. We see free throw shooting and some drill work, when practice is over. That's what we see. We don't see, we get a glimpse of like shooting competitions and things of that sort. So, we don't get a chance to see them go over defensive sets and things of that sort. The bit I did see, and plus it's day one, like I said, fall practice, because they've been working out since June. Mercy Miller can shoot that ball. Man, young fella got a sweet stroke. He can shoot that basketball. Now, granted, it was just going around the world, as in the 3-point arc, and he, make 5 or 10 straight before he moved to the next spot on the arc. He did not take long moving around the world. Okay, he was splashing threes, but that's end of practice. For all I know, he could have struggled, prior to what I saw him shoot. But his promised potential is there. But back to what Coach Sampson said regarding the private jet, the net jet hours account. It's not, he has to, from what I've been told, he has to make calls ahead of time to make sure it's understood he needs to be at spot X at a certain time. He has to clear it, basically. These skills, what I'm trying to say. He has to clear it, go through all these steps, procedures to make sure that it's on the books, on the docket. Okay, coach, we can take care of all these hoops. Whereas if D skills just come out of his pocket, that cool $250,000 annually, coach gets to do it on his own. Just fly, make the call. I need the plane. I need to be at spot X tomorrow at 8. We're ready, coach. Pick you up at whatever. See you there. $250,000 annually is roughly what he needs annually. Listen to what I said. To me, that's a hell of a lot of money. Hell of a lot. But $250,000. Every Big 12 school, especially the ones who have been in the Big 12 for years, or in the case of Arizona and Arizona State, been in the Pac-12 for years, Utah as well, been on the power conference level. So they have that power conference money, but they also think and act like a power conference school. D-Skills says it here. UH is so minor league. And he's an alum. I'm an alum. So when I say this, and it's a fine line, because I'm not trying to come across as arrogant. Trust me, I don't know everything. Trust me on that. I got numerous examples that prove that. But when I say that UH is in a Power 4 conference, but still behaves like an NAI program sometimes, this is another example of it. The small time thinking that has gone on for years still is an anchor on the program. This is part of it. Still waiting on the full share, Big 12 shares. But the mentality, going back to customer service is not expensive, should not be expensive. It does not cost a lot to treat your customers well and with respect. Miss Wanda, if she still watches, she can give examples of how she has not been treated well as a customer. You don't need a lot of money to do that. You don't need a lot of money to put on a good presentation when you are joining the Big 12. You don't need a lot of money to have a legit toast on social media. The thinking has been slow and backwards and antiquated. That's why, I'm proud to work with Andy Yanez and Dayon, but saluting Andy for meeting a demand in the Let's Rage Coogs post-game show. We were just kicking around talking about it, and he's like, there's not a post-game show in town for college sports for Houston. So he took it upon himself to make Let's Rage Coogs what it is. And he's worked his butt off to help it grow. We could do a whole lot more. but we've done a lot with less. We like to do a lot with a lot. UH for years has done less with a lot more than some of the other schools in town. It's just not the way to behave as a power program in big time athletics. This this is big boy sports. You need to act like it, work like it, think like it. Kelvin Sampson, he won't be around forever, but he's trying to do his part to bring UH to power conference athletics. Because, like he said, this is his 14th year in the Big 12. So he's used to things being a certain way on a power conference level. So he knows what he's talking about. But I have a bone to pick with the Big 12 overall. Because let's see here. There's the conference schedule. Here. I'm going to come back to that. Here we go. Big 12 Conference launches Big 12 Studios, league's first ever 24/7 FAST channel in partnership with Raycom Sports. This was announced last Thursday. I first discussed it on Sunday, the 22nd, on the Folks Talking Sports live stream show with my colleague, Willie Gibson. I did not know Raycom Sports still existed until this announcement. 45 years. I grew up with them, Big 8 days, all that kind of stuff. And Saturdays, I thought they were just gone. When ESPN took over the conference deal and stuff, out of sight, out of mind. But anyway, the Big 12 Conference and Raycom Sports launched Big 12 Studios, a new programming and content venture designed to expand and enhance the league's storytelling efforts. Big 12 Studios will create and deliver original programming and content to fans as a FAST, and FAST stands for free ad-supported television, FAST channel across multiple platforms, major platforms, including planned launches on leading platforms early this fall. Fall is officially here, right, D-Skills? Right, Rex? Right, CA37? Fall is here, right? That will be announced soon. Fall. There are platforms, shows will be announced soon. Fail. As well as major VOD platforms such as YouTube, video on demand platforms such as YouTube. Select programming from Big 12 Studios will also air across local TV stations throughout multiple Big 12 conference markets, which include Gray Media's Arizona's Family Sports Network in Phoenix and Tucson, blah, 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 blah. No Houston. But D-Skills said it. This is my point. This should have been ready for football season. Exactly. Because next part of this, Big 12 Studios will feature a variety of programming such as in-game footage, highlights from recent contests, replays of historic Big 12 conference showdowns, and in-depth expert analysis. Original content will include profiles of current and former Big 12 conference student assets, highlighting their stories on and off the field. Big 12 Studios will also feature a weekly show inside the Big 12, which will be distributed on air in addition to the FAST channel and VOD platforms such as YouTube, hosted by Pete Souza and Madison Hawk. This weekly show kicks off this fall, focusing on showcasing the upcoming weekend's full slate of Big 12 football games. Pause right there. This Saturday is about to be week 5, right? The football? Right? Week 5 in the college football season is coming up. Coogs host Iowa State. This weekly preview show kicks off this fall, focusing on showcasing the upcoming weekend's full slate of Big 12 football games. Following football season, Inside the 12 will evolve to spotlight and preview additional Big 12 sports. What the hell? What are they waiting on? And Rex says Colorado alone is doing a great job showcasing their football team. My man Neely, who worked with Coach Prime back at Jackson State, is now still with Coach Prime at Colorado. They've established a working relationship. So the content, you see Neely on there, on him for years. HBCU, of course, we don't do nothing over there. We know. Well, But again, today, Big 12 basketball schedule released. Women's schedule was announced. Conference schedule was announced at 10 o'clock Central Time. Big 12 will announce the men's conference schedule at 1 o'clock. So in a few minutes, once this show ends, you can go to the Big 12 website. You can go to the Houston Roundball Review website. I'll have the release posted as soon as I get it, edited and posted on my site. Why isn't that on? Why isn't the schedule announcement on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus? Why isn't it on the Big 12's 24/7 Fast channel? Why isn't it part of, hey, Kris, you want to do something with the conference? Help us announce the schedule? Hell yeah. If Big 12 men's basketball, the best conference in men's basketball, where's the content? Where is the attention for the best conference in men's basketball? What are y'all doing? Yeah, we all know there is not a Big 12 linear network. We know that. But there's enough content now, enough platforms now for you to get this done. If basketball is such a big thing for the commissioner, he wants to make it a big thing, growing thing, and split it off from football in the next media rights deal. Well, shouldn't you start doing that? Providing content, promoting your best conference in men's basketball? No argument here, D-Skills. No argument there. The Hueys will go undefeated in September. Agreed. But I'm going to vent some more. Got to get in the NIL and UNLV situation and maybe get to the Pac-12 saga, filing a suit over a deal you signed. But little past the bottom of the hour, going to play the BS3 Network promo to let folks know who are new to the show. Welcome if you are. Tell a friend about the show. Tell a friend about the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and yes, on Roku via the BS3 Network.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, sponsored by the Saxenian family, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, FireTV YouTube, of course, but most importantly, on Roku via the BS3 Network. If you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. If not, you can go to bs3network.com or bs3tvlive.com. There are on-demand Houston Roundball Review shows on demand via the BS3 app on Roku. We're minutes away from the Big 12 announcing the conference schedule for its men's basketball season for 2024-25 season. The 20-game conference schedule for men's basketball will be announced at 1 o'clock. Rex 32 asks, how was the Rockets training facility? It is very impressive. Very, very impressive. A lot of bells and whistles. 75,000 square feet. I think it's 3 times larger than the facility over in downtown Toyota Center. The weight room, the 2 basketball courts, the locker room, the offices. It's really impressive. So salute to Tillman and his family for getting it done, and the people who contributed the time and the designs and the funds to make it happen. And we'll see if it proves beneficial for the players. Media Day is September 30th. We didn't get a chance to ask the players about the facility on the tour on Tuesday, but hopefully we get to ask them their thoughts on it at Media Day this coming this coming Monday, 30th. But training camp starts on Tuesday, October 1st, and it will be at the new training center rather than out of town. So we'll get a chance to go to the practices a few times when I'm not somewhere else, when I'm not trying to get new advertisers and sponsors or working in an office setting or a job or something like that. But all that, very impressive, and salute to the Rockets for getting that done. And I'll just leave it at that. That's some things I probably can't talk about without the risk of losing my credential. But okay, talked about Big 12 and its partnership with Raycom on its 24/7 FAST channel, which is supposed to be launched soon this fall with new content. Well, hell, fall is here, and football season, and just all kinds of fail, but whatever. Okay. CBS Sports and the Big 12 Conference have expanded their partnership by significantly increasing the number of Big 12 men's college basketball games across the network's platforms. The multi-year deal, which runs through the 26-27 season, is through a sub-license agreement with ESPN. As part of its extensive regular season schedule, CBS Sports already broadcasts a minimum of 6 Big 12 men's college basketball games annually on CBS, with those games streaming live on Paramount Plus. This new agreement adds 20 games per year to air on CBS Sports Network to bring the total number of Big 12 men's basketball games to at least 26 per season across CBS Sports platforms. So that is a nice touch. So good on that. Still missing the boat about not having a show announcing the schedule. But anyway, I digress. That still bothers me a great deal. Still bothers me. Put that on YouTube. Live stream that. All right. This makes no sense to me. I mean, I know it's all about the money. I know that. Pac-12 filed poaching penalty lawsuit in federal court. Get you your Houston Roundball Review mug as I take a sip. The Pac-12 filed a lawsuit in federal court Tuesday challenging the legality of a poaching penalty included in a football scheduling agreement it signed D Skills and Rex. It signed. The Pac-12 signed it in December. So if you did not like the terms, why did you sign it? With Oregon State and Washington State scrambling late last year to fill their 2024 football schedules in the wake of the Pac-12's collapse, they came to terms with the Mountain West on a one-year agreement that added 6 Mountain West school opponents to each remaining Pac-12's schedule this season. As part of the agreement, the Mountain West included language that requires the Pac-12 to pay a fee of $10 million if a school left the Mountain West Conference for the Pac-12, with escalators of $500,000 for each additional school. Back to the first paragraph. The Pac-12 filed a lawsuit in federal court. It signed, challenging the legality of a poaching penalty included in a football scheduling agreement it signed in December. But apparently that's an issue. But anyway, when Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and San Diego State announced September 12th they were leaving Mountain West for the Pac-12, there was an expectation the Pac-12 would be required to pay $43 million as outlined in the scheduling agreement. That number jumped to $55 million on Monday after Utah State also accepted an offer to leave the Mountain West for the Pac-12. On the same day the announcements were made, Mountain West Commissioner Gloria Nevarez sent an email noting the Pac-12's obligation to pay the $43 million within 30 days. Pac-12 Commissioner Teresa Gould responded, noting that the conference's stance to the fees were unlawful. Hell, y'all signed it. Quote, fundamentally, these provisions seek to inhibit competition by placing exorbitant and punitive monetary fees on the Pac-12 simply for engaging in competition by accepting MWC member schools into the Pac-12. As you know, the MWC imposed these improper penalties over the Pac-12's objection at a time when the Pac-12 was desperate to schedule football games for its 2 remaining members and had little leverage to reject this clear restraint on competition. So you objected at the time, but because you had little leverage, you still signed it. Okay, so you still signed it. You're desperate, and you still signed it. In response to the lawsuit, Nevarez released a statement Tuesday that took issue, obviously. Quote, the provision was put in place to protect the Mountain West Conference from this exact scenario. It was obvious to us and everyone across the country, true, that the remaining members of the Pac-12 were going to try to rebuild. The fees at issue were included to ensure the future viability of the Mountain West and allow our member institutions to continue providing critical resources and opportunities for our student athletes. At no point in the contracting process did the Pac-12 contend that the agreement that it freely entered into violated any laws. Again, I'll say that again. At no point in the contracting process did the Pac-12 contend that the agreement that it freely entered into violated any laws. To say that the Mountain West was taking advantage of the Pac-12 could not be farther from the truth. I'm not even going to read any more of that. That's all that needs to be said as far as I'm concerned. So I don't salute. I guess I can salute the Pac-12 lawyers for trying to fight this, but they signed it. it wasn't your fault you got left. Oh, Oregon State and Washington State. You got left behind. Tough. Yeah, you had a little leverage. Tough. You still signed it. You signed this deal. And now that you're doing what everyone expects you to do anyway and poach schools from the Mountain West to the conference, now you have a problem with the document you signed. You yourself signed. Just make it make sense. Make it make sense. But NCAA football is like a soap opera. D-Skill says the Pac treating that conference agreement like coaches treat contracts. I can't argue with that. But another example of college athletics being pro sports. All right. Y'all know about this one. Matthew Sluka's NIL dispute with UNLV hinges on verbal offer. This is from ESPN.com. UNLV quarterback Matthew Sluka left the 3-0 Rebels. Tuesday night, he announced it on, Instagram first or whatever, social media, over claims of unfulfilled verbal NIL promises from a UNLV assistant coach. Sluka's agent told ESPN that UNLV didn't come through on a verbal offer of $100,000 from an assistant coach. The quarterback's father told ESPN that head coach Barry Odom later said in a phone conversation the offer wasn't valid because it did not come from him, but rather from the OC Brennan Marion, who obviously declined to comment to ESPN. And as Rex says right here, verbal offer is the key word. But there's some wiggle room here. UNLV said Wednesday in a statement that Sluka's, quote, representative made financial demands upon the university and its NIL collective in order to continue playing, end quote. More of the statement. UNLV Athletics interpreted these demands as a violation of the NCAA pay-for-play rules, as well as Nevada state law. UNLV does not engage in such activity, nor does it respond to implied threats. UNLV has honored all previously agreed upon scholarships for Matthew Sluka. UNLV has conducted its due diligence and will continue to operate its programs within the framework of NCAA rules and regulations, as well as Nevada state laws, end quote. UNLV's collective did pay Sluka one $3,000 fee for an engagement he attended this summer, according to Blueprint Sports, a company that manages the collective. Person Rob Sign said Sluka's agents first made contact with the collective in late August to discuss future opportunities to work together. Sign said he was not aware of any promises to play Sluka the $100,000, and that Sluka had not contacted the collective about missing payments as far as he knew. The Friends of UNLV collective reiterated in a statement that there were, quote, no formal NIL offers made during Mr. Sluka's recruitment process, end quote, and that the collective did not, quote, agree to any NIL offers while he was part of the team, aside from a completed community engagement event over the summer. Here you go, Rex. Because the OC's offer to Sluka was verbal and never formalized, there are varying versions of what happened. Sources told ESPN that Sluka approached head coach Barry Odom about the money in recent days, and he practiced with the team, but he did not practice on Tuesday. The only formal offer from the school, according to the agent, was one of $3,000 a month for 4 months. The only money Sluka has received from UNLV, per the agent, was $3,000 for moving expenses. The tension point appears to center on the verbal offer. Though reports emerged from UNLV about Sluka asking for more money, Sluka insists all he was asking for is what the program verbally promised, with no contract required up front because of the vagaries of NIL rules and third parties technically in charge of giving athletes the deals. The ambiguity over the validity of verbal offers hangs over the enterprise of college athletics. So that is it. According to Sluka's father and his agent, at no time did Sluka ask for an adjustment to the initial deal that was promised. When Sluka reported to UNLV in the summer, he was told the money would be distributed on a payment plan. He was later told that payment would come after he enrolled in school and began classes, according to his father. The school and collective did formally offer $3,000 per month for 4 months, according to the agent, which was obviously $88,000 less than what Sluka and Cromartie were told verbally last winter. It's a mess. It is a big mess. But verbal offer is the key. Nothing was signed regarding the $100,000. And some folks question whether that $100,000 could have even been signed, because if it was signed, it could have been in violation of NCAA rules regarding pay for play, which may be going away soon once the House settlement is reached. But this bingo. Young man coming from Holy Cross is not a great, well, he has not, his passing numbers aren't great this year. He's a better runner this year than he was passer. I think his passing numbers, like, he has a 43% completion rate. But hey, he and his family clearly, well, no, let me not say that. Many assume that because he did not get the $100,000, his agent probably went around and found someone, some team, some program, some collective saying, yeah, we'll take care of that. We can match that. Heck, we can beat that offer. But he's got to get in the portal first. Well, so once he enters the portal, don't be shocked whenever that is. Whenever the portal window opens, with that December, and he does the whatever the terminology regarding the portal, closed and not accepting offers, that means you already have an offer for somebody else. You already have your destination already figured out. He'll land somewhere else. But yes, he looked great against the Coogs. All right, final moments of this edition of The Takeover, sponsored by the Saxenian family. Coogs, Iowa State. Last I saw, Iowa State was favored by 14. These skills, will Iowa State cover that 14? Rex, will Iowa State cover that 14? Will the Cougs score 14 points? What say you in these closing moments of this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, sponsored by the Saxenian family, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, FireTV, YouTube, and of course on Roku via the BS3 Network. Game 6 o'clock start this Saturday. Cougs hosting Iowa State on FS1. Iowa State favored by 14. Rex just says, I need the Cougs to score a touchdown. Well, we'll see. At least score some points. I think The Coogs will have a new field goal kicker. Allstate will cover as UH bounces between QBs. Yeah, that's an issue as well. But regardless, Allstate fans, come to the stadium. You might have your choice of plenty of spots. If the Coug fans won't be there, you can be there. Spend your money. Support your Cyclones. Show UH how it's done. But anyway, my apologies for the muted sound in the first 90 seconds of today's show. Thank you. Thankfully, I have loyal viewers who let me know that I was muted because I had no idea. But as always, thank you to the Saxenian family for their support and sponsoring this show. Got a few more weeks of that sponsorship. You want to continue to or become a sponsor of this show and the Houston Roundball Review, by all means, please email me, advertise@thehrr.com. Wrapping it up, we're minutes away from the Big 12 releasing the Big 12 conference schedule for men's basketball. So look forward to 1 o'clock. We'll be on the website, big12sports.com. There should be a show. One of these years, I hope the Big 12 will have, like the football shows, NFL, other big-time conferences have scheduled announcing shows for football. Do it for basketball. Come on, do it for basketball. Yes, I'm a basketball guy. Come on now. Come on. But as always, thank you, everybody, for taking time out of your schedule, your lunch, to join me on this edition of The Takeover, this Throwback Thursday edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, sponsored by the Saxenian family. As always, since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Thursday, September 26, 2024. Number one, the Department of Justice is suing Visa, accusing the company of monopolizing the debit card market. The DOJ alleges Visa forced businesses to use its network, preventing competition and charging excessive fees. Visa called the lawsuit meritless, claiming it faces growing competition in the payment industry. Number two, the United States ranks last in healthcare among 10 wealthy nations, despite spending the most, according to a Commonwealth Fund report. Americans face lower life expectancy, higher rates of disease, and significant barriers to accessing healthcare compared to countries like the UK and Australia. The report highlights that millions remain uninsured, and even those with insurance struggle with high costs and limited services. Number three, more than 4 years after George Floyd's death, Black Minneapolis residents continue to experience heightened mental health challenges. A study in the American Journal of Epidemiology found that Black residents, regardless of their socioeconomic status, saw a sharp increase in mental health diagnoses compared to white and Latino neighbors. Within a week of Floyd's murder, the data showed a 0.23 per 1,000 residents increase in mental health conditions among Black residents. Number four, Black Voters Matter has launched its fall 2024 We Fight Back campaign to mobilize 10 million Black voters across 12 states. The $15 million initiative will fund voter ads, voter activations, and partner grants focused on key issues like education, economic justice, and healthcare equity. The campaign will also combat voter suppression and disinformation while pushing for stronger voting rights protections, such as the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Act. Number five, it's Libra season, and it's also the halfway point of the astrological year from September 22nd through October 22nd. Ms. Astrology says it's time for us to recalibrate and find balance between work and play, as Libra's energy is all about fairness, harmony, and weighing those options. While relationships may face challenges during eclipse season, embrace the calm of Libra before the intensity of Scorpio season and focus on restoring balance in partnerships and community. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Be intentional about creating healthy boundaries to protect your mental and emotional well-being. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with our mental health and wellness contributor, Aprilette Russell, and Ms. Astrology as we discuss today's top headlines and more. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.